Well, hello, party people.
You're in that mode.
People. Welcome to Perfectly Twisted. It's Nicole Eggert here, and that's Dave Palais.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Wow. I mean, have you been seeing all the headlines of this Love Island debacle?
I have. And it's funny, my daughter-in-law actually reached out. Are you watching? Like she's
Yeah.
all in. She is all into Love Island.
I mean, I think it's the number one show right now across the board. The problem is because I watch both UK and USA, and I prefer UK.
Really? How come?
I really do. They're just more genuine. They are more respectful of each other and each other's feelings. They're more honest.
Okay.
They're, may I say, dare I say, better all around people. They just have an emotional maturity that I think is lacking on our show. But there you have it. I mean, you know, we know dating in the USA is just a big old mess anyway. So it sort of bleeds over. But this cast in particular this year, we have had two girls go home because of past racial slurs that they've made on social media or podcasts or videos or the like. They've had to be removed. Two, who's vetting these people? Like, how hard is that to figure out?
Well, nowadays you apply for a job and they do a pretty good job going through your history. You know, they know. I mean, this is a TV show, right? Get your act together.
Yes, and this last girl that was removed, Sierra, turns out she was like a super fan, and now she had a not so private or hidden birthday party that was Love Island themed years ago. So she was kind of on a mission to be on the show. And my point being, it feels like with the USA cast, they're there to be on TV. This doesn't seem to be about love anymore. This doesn't seem to be about the experience. This is pure keep me on the show. I want to be on the show. I want the most followers. I want a brand deal. I want to be famous. And it's so glaringly obvious that it takes the fun out of it. Like it really takes the fun out of it for me because that's not what we're here for. And you know, they just oh man, they just are saying what they think people want to hear. And it's like they're all acting their way through this season. And it's just I'm still watching. I'm still watching every episode. Don't get me wrong, but it's cringy.
So I'm glad to hear you say this because I've always felt this way, but you know what it's like. Unfortunately, you know it's like good and bad, right? When people are, you know, want your attention or, you know what it's like at a higher level. You know what it's like to go take the trash out when, you know, you didn't dress up before you went to take the trash out and then get a horrible picture of you, you know, in the tabloids. Like, it's not fun. But, you know, as I said to you, you know, months ago, the saying that people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, we're creating an environment where everybody's living in a glass house. Like, why would you open yourself up or want to open yourself up to that? People think the idea of fame is not exactly what it is. And at the same time, man, when it bites you, it can really hurt. And I kind of felt that way with shows like The Bachelor, you know, especially The Bachelor, where these guys were basically going on these shows, no intention of ever getting married. And they're going to use their fame for picking up girls for the rest of their lives.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned The Bachelor because the first episode of Love in Paradise aired and I caught that. And I mean, when you turn and you go, Bachelor in Paradise feels way more organic and way more real than Love Island. You know that there's like something amiss here because that's so heavily produced, that show, like it's just so produced. So that's when you know it's bad. It's just bad. And there's just people on the show that just, it's like they don't even want to be there. This Ace character, he just it's like the whole big thing is a joke to him. And the one kid, Matt, who was Sierra's partner, now he's with Alondra. he's just saying whatever he thinks the next person wants to hear so that they choose him so he doesn't get kicked off and so that America, the audience, likes him. And he's just talking nonsense. He talks so much nonsense that on this latest episode, he was talking to Alondra about, I want my kids to be well traveled and everything like I was. And I'm thinking, are you well traveled?
Yeah.
And then he says, like, when I was a kid, we would go to Thailand. And she was like, oh, I just went to Thailand for my birthday. And he got so excited and had nothing to contribute. So I was like, did you actually go to Thailand, Mr.? Like, now I'm doubting everything that comes out of your mouth. And that takes the fun out of it because now we're watching like Jax Taylor's.
Yes, exactly right. You hit it right on the head.
It's like we're just watching somebody bullshit and think that they're playing us for fools, and it kind of bothers me. But then you've got other characters on there, like this Huda girl. For some reason, she's so tragic, but I love her and I can't stop watching her. But she's emotionally tragic and traumatized. Amaya, she's gorgeous. She can't stop crying ever. She's so passionate. She's just crying all the time, but she's being real. It just gets to this point for me of like, yeah, what are you doing this for? And I was watching, there's this documentary out about people who were kind of the trailblazers into this YouTube life and getting famous, and how their kids were born with a camera in their face. And now they're sort of starting to question, like, is this fame a good idea? And do my kids even want this? And did I make the right choice? And all of this. So it's a good point that you bring up. It's like people think they want it. And then when they have it, they realize the pressure of it. And that it's a full-time job. It 100% is. And it's a game changer. And you have to deal with all the ridicule and all the haters and everybody with an opinion that doesn't know you and that is, just out to hurt your feelings. And so the documentary is really kind of interesting. I just watched the first episode of it, but and people are saying this is child labor, and it's like, is it any worse than kids acting? These kids are also living a very privileged life. So, everybody has a different childhood, everybody's got problems. So are these bad problems to have? I don't know. All of these things, but with the Love Island, I was like, what else? Can we, Pepe's genuine. I feel like Pepe's pretty genuine. Iris, I like her a lot. I feel like she almost should be like a model or a movie star or something like that. But Ace and Shelly and Alondra, who's just clueless, who thinks that her and this Matt kid are just, his name is Matt, right? Are just meant to be together because they keep coming back to each other. No, he keeps coming back to you because he doesn't want to get kicked off the show. And he knows you're gullible enough to keep him. It's it's just like playing tricks on us. I don't know. I just feel like, and Chris, I like Chris on there. Iris, Chris, Pepe. But yeah.
Here's my question for you.
Nicholas. His name is Nick, not Matt. Sorry. These names are Nick and Matt. I should know his name. Nick. He's just full of shit. And Alondra, he's not in love with you. This wasn't meant to be. He just doesn't want to get kicked off the show. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, these are supposed to be reality TV shows, right? I mean, that's the whole point of it. These aren't actors. These are reality TV shows. It's been this way basically for over 25 years that we saw Survivor come out and more shows came out like this. My point is, if these are reality shows, even if someone says something homophobic or racist, I say leave them on. These are reality shows. Let these people, the reality is when it is over, this is what you're going to be known for or not known for. And maybe a future employer or a spouse, maybe it's going to mean something to them. Maybe it's not. But when you sit there and change what's supposed to be reality and you're kicking people off the show, leave them on the show. I mean, I could right now go to Walmart. I could run into someone that drops a racial slur right now, anywhere. Right. I could go to a fast food place. Same thing. I might hear a racial slur. And I'm curious to know. This is kind of like, hey, you made this bed. Now you lie in it. This is what you created because of your homophobia or racial slurs. And Andy and Bravo, they kicked these people off so fast.
I don't think they remove them to protect them. They remove them because people will then say, how do you give these horrible people airtime? How do you give them this space? How are you giving them a platform and a paycheck? And Love Island is their contestants on a game show. It's not just a reality show. So God forbid one of these racist, horrible people were to win the cash prize at the end. Then you're sort of dealing with an issue like that could ruin the show. So there's that aspect to it. This isn't just like a Housewives or Bad Girls Club or something like that where it's just a reality show. There's actually like legal, and there's a game show, and there's it's all of that. There's a prize.
On Vanderpump? What about like on Vanderpump when they ran into issues and they do people off?
Right. They get rid of them. I think they do it to protect themselves because they feel like they're going to lose viewers because people are going to get mad that, a racist person has a platform. But it's hypocritical because you see Jax all over the place. I mean, I just saw Jax on a podcast yesterday and not a damn thing has changed. She's still blaming Brittany for their divorce and taking zero accountability. And it's just, he still has this platform. And it's like, when do you punish them and say, but yeah, it's tough. And it's like, at what level of racist slur did they use? The first girl continued to use the N-word over and over again. Yeah. Ugh, we got to get rid of that. Sierra said something, an Asian slur about her own eyes. Well, you can't say that. And I understand what you're saying. They're gonna feel the effects of that anyway. The hate that they're gonna come off that island to online is disgusting too. It's like two wrongs don't make a right. Right? You have to like control yourself. Like there's this video going viral of this woman who's disgusting in Texas saying, I'll buy alligator Alcatraz merch all I want. Oh, boo-hoo, go cry me a river. And she's doing this nasty, angry video. Cut to her little small town gets flooded out and there's zero rescue for them, zero help. Her next video is her crying and screaming and begging for help. Now, part of me, the perfectly twisted part of me is like, this is kind of why these things happen, because you need to learn a lesson and in humanity and caring. And sometimes it takes tragedies to bring people back down to earth and bring them together. But you can't think like that, because two wrongs don't make a right. You have to still want to help these people and say, hope that they realize it on their own. But so that's sort of the same thing with these kids. They're going to get off the show. They're devastated. And then they're going to open that phone. They're going to open their device and a world of hurt is going to kick them in the butt. So that's coming anyways. But do you still give them airtime? Do you still pay them? I mean, if they take accountability and then they really, truly take accountability, I'm a believer in that. I'm a believer in second chances. I'm a big believer in people learning and evolving. Absolutely. I'm not into the cancel culture especially for young people making stupid decisions or uneducated decisions. If they choose not to take the education and they choose to stay on that path, well, good riddance. But yeah, that's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was like, I almost, like that lady who obviously is screaming for help after she couldn't be more cruel. I've seen the video you're talking about. And the one who makes me laugh is Liam Neeson on Twitter with anytime someone, karma comes back to get him, he just writes on there, sucks to be you. And I laugh every time, but I wouldn't write that, but when he writes it, he's thinking like us, where's the humanity? Where were you before? When it wasn't you? How come you couldn't put yourself in someone else's shoes? And when it comes to shows like this, I at first I was with the whole Vanderpump thing. Yeah, get them out of here. Get them out of here. And then as I watch these people who are sitting there making the racial slurs, and I'm in straight out, I'm not okay with it. I coach a lot of young kids, and I'm not okay with kids drop the N-word. If you aren't staying on the field with me as a coach, if you're dropping the N-word, you're coming off. I'm gonna remove you from the situation. We're gonna have a talk about why this isn't acceptable behavior. But at the same time, if this is supposed to be random people that want to be famous, that aren't actors, that didn't read a script, and these are their true feelings, hey, go ahead. You want to sit there and drown yourself? Go ahead, do it right in front of all of us. And
Right.
then and good luck in the rest of your life, because a lot of people saw exactly the person you are.
I see your point. I do see your point. And I ultimately, at the end of the day, have to blame production for not vetting these
Exactly
people
right.
properly.
That's
It
the
feels
problem.
like they're getting lazy because hardly anybody on Love Island feels genuine at all.
Yep.
Um, and then for two to have videos surface so quickly, I just I feel like it's laziness in the casting.
Yeah. No,
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Are you watching The Valley? Are you caught up?
I'm not.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
not, because I really kind of got burnt out on everything right now. I was like, with everything that's going on in the world, and then turning on entertainment to then, watch these people be disingenuous and straight up just bullshitting, um, or just at each other's throats for such silly little things. I just kind of going through a phase right now where I just don't have the room for it. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the capacity for it. I feel like, it's kind of icky. It's just kind of icky to me right now. And I just feeling a little burnt out on it. Like, it's not fun right now.
Yeah. If you catch the last 5 minutes of the most recent episode, it's worth the last 5 minutes. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to watch it. Don't get me wrong.
Eventually you're going to catch up.
It wasn't top of my list. I had some
Yeah.
TED Talks I needed to listen
Yeah.
to. Keegan had tryouts within tryouts at
Yeah.
cheer. She was the only incoming freshman to make it as a flyer. They took
Nice.
one, and it was her.
Congratulations.
I know. So she's on varsity. Like, so there's
Fantastic.
varsity, JV, and frosh. She is one of three sixth graders. I wish one of three ninth graders accepted onto varsity. So
Yeah,
go
that is awesome.
Keegan.
That's a big
Yeah,
deal. That's cool.
it is. Straight to varsity. So yay for her. So yesterday was pretty celebratory. And I also watched that docuseries Cheer, which I had never seen before.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to learn a little bit about cheer, and I get sucked into this show about humans and their stories. And it's so much deeper and so much more beautiful than just this cheer competition. So I was really happy I watched that.
Good deal. All right,
Yeah.
I have a TV question for you, because lately, the last 2 weeks before I go to sleep, the last thing I watch is a Leave It to Beaver episode. I found Leave It to Beaver on TV. And
Okay.
when I was a kid visiting, in the summertime, I'd visit my grandmother in Los Angeles. I was living in Nashville, and I'd come and spend my summers in LA. I still remember on Channel 5 at 8:30 in the morning was Leave It to Beaver. And I watched Leave It to Beaver at 8:30 every morning. And I'm watching, drives my wife crazy. She says, we aren't watching this. She gets super angry that I watch Leave It to Beaver, but it doesn't matter. It's a whole nother fight. My point is, I'm watching Leave It to Beaver, and his friend is Larry Mondello. I don't know if you remember the TV show Leave It to Beaver at all. Overweight.
Of course I do. And I was on it.
You mean the new series, when Beaver comes back?
Yeah.
You're on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. I got questions for you off of that one. So anyway, so I looked up Larry Mondello. I'm like, hey, is this guy still alive? I was curious to know what happened to this kid. And it says on there, his family claimed that they moved to Philadelphia when he was young and he stopped acting. In reality, everything I read was he got fired from the show because his mom was an overbearing stage mom.
Oh.
And producers just couldn't deal with her anymore. She was that big of a pain in the ass that they just said, we're getting rid of the kid. Beaver's going to find a new friend. It's going to be Gilbert. That's it. So Larry's out. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Have you ever dealt with it, since you've dealt with a lot of child actors, that you have the moms or dads on set that create a problem?
Yes, but it's interesting.
Really?
It's interesting to me to compare what they would have considered a pain in the ass then to what would be just considered normal now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would have loved to have been able to be around that to see what was it that they considered overbearing, because back then you needed to stay in your lane. And then this whole evolution of momagers and parent managers started to evolve, and they were parents very much in charge and very much involved and in control of their children's career, and rightfully so. I respect it. And things changed, but up until then, it was like, shut up and go away. So if you spoke up at all, right? So I would, my guess, my hunch would be that there probably wasn't much of a pain in the ass at all.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm just curious to know what you've seen over the years. Have you ever been on a show where you're like, all right, this person's not coming back? Like you could feel it? Like, there's not going to be a recurring character that they did not handle this well when they got their shot.
Well, I'll tell you, there were things like on Charles in Charge, if the female guest wasn't totally into
I got you.
our star of our show, she would disappear midweek. That happened a few times.
Midweek, like before you guys even did the episode?
Yeah, they would get replaced. Woo! It happened a few times.
Wow.
And
that is crazy.
Yeah. But for the most part, no, no, because people are guest stars and they work through it. You know what I mean? And I've seen parts get smaller, because it wasn't quite working out and things like that, for sure. But really, like, this person is getting the boot is because they weren't into our star in the right way, or something wasn't happening after hours. I don't, so I did see a lot of that, but
Wow. I can't say I'm surprised on any of it. I mean, honestly, I can't say I'm surprised. It just seems wild to think. And I know, I guess, did he have a producing credit also on the show? Or
I don't know. Good question. But they ran that show.
Yeah, you had some people in the business that worked on that show that were there a long time in Hollywood that you think would say it doesn't matter. We're still taping on Thursday. You're like, right. That's your problem. Sorry, But wow.
Well, it was a different time, and this circles back to last episode. We had a question in Nicole's mailbag about, have I ever been yelled at on set? And I was thinking about this afterwards, because sometimes it takes me a while to come up with. That's why I'm maybe not that great on the moment questions. It takes me a while sometimes to remember things. But I was yelled at by Mario Bayo because we would have barbecues every so often on set where the cast and crew would eat together, and everybody would be delegated a different thing for that responsibility for that week. I was in charge of delegating who was going to bring what, and I gave Scott Baio a list of things to get from the market. And I was yelled at that I would ever ask him to walk into a public market. We are talking about Gelson's in Studio City, okay? You don't get much more high end than that. And and I just was like, really? Like, he can't go to the butcher and put in an order on his way to work? Like, but I mean, I got reamed. I got reamed for it.
Wow.
Yep. So a follow-up answer to that question of last episode: yes, I was yelled at once on set.
That is crazy to me. I mean, fine. If you don't want to do it, you don't have an assistant, but you're going to say you aren't part of the team. I don't know. It's just wild to me.
Yeah. Like, how dare I? How dare I? Like,
not only that, you're a teenager.
Yeah.
You weren't some 30-year-old who said it, you made this list. You're a kid yourself. What?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Wild. Yeah.
I live a little down. I'm not doing another barbecue again. Like, you get good luck to all you guys. F that. Yeah. What's the point? It's supposed to be a coming together moment.
Yeah, completely defeating the purpose. And it's like, listen, mister, before you go yell at some child, why don't you just go pick it up? Or why don't you, kindly say, in the future, just bring it to me? But that wasn't the energy on set. And that's what people never got to see. And that was,
The name
Mhm.
you said, is that a brother, father? I don't know. I don't remember.
Father.
Okay, father. Got
Sorry.
it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. It was his father who was a very involved, very present force on set. And, so talk about overbearing.
Yeah,
And
that's
someone
true.
who should have been fired for having an overbearing parent on set.
Wow,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. So,
Okay.
ugh,
Jeez, that's I'm not surprised on anything. Honestly, nothing to life surprises me at this point. That's
no.
just one of those you just shake your head at. You got to be kidding me.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
So, yeah. Follow up answer. So I have a product alert that I'm obsessed with right now. I am not sponsored by them in any way. I spent my hard-earned cash here. Um, I've been detoxing everything out of my life. I detox everything. I will admit one of the hardest parts of it for me is fragrance.
Okay.
So hard for me to give up. I love things that smell good. I am just obsessed with things that smell good. I want to smell good. I like my home smelling good. So, all the candles I had are out, all the perfumes, all the sprays, all those out. And then I started doing some research on it because I needed the smell goods. And I found this company called Grow Fragrance. I don't love the name because it has fragrance in it, and fragrance is what we are trying to avoid. But I'm realizing that they probably did it for legal purposes of, being able to have that name. But they are 100% plant-based. They are free from toxins. They're have completely transparent ingredients. They make small batches, and they are made in the USA. So they have different scents. And I also find it really hard to purchase scents online. Like, how do you know if you're going to like it or not? And how do you know
Yeah.
you're not scrolling right by one that you're going to love, but you didn't think about? So it's kind of trial and error. So I thought I'm going to pull the plug on this one. I don't pull the plug. I'm going to pull the trigger on this one. And they offer sort of like a pack of things that you can buy. So I did like a mix and match. And I got a room spray in bamboo.
Okay.
So I love that because you can spray it on your bed, on your sheets, just in the air. The bamboo scent is really fresh, really light, very clean, kind of gives it a hotel resort vibe smell, which I like. And then I got, which I was very happy, and the spray goes for $15, which listen, it's kind of pricey. It's cheaper than your $12. I mean, it's more expensive than like your $11, $12 one, maybe at Febreze or one of those other
Mhm.
terrible toxic ones. But for a couple dollars more, I can spray this in the cat. I'm not worried about it like landing in the cat's food or anything like that, or in the litter box, because I like to spray it around her litter box,
Yeah.
and I'm not worried about it landing in there and it getting on her paws. So for me, it's totally worth it. I got this candle in a new scent that they have out called Cabana. Now, the candles are expensive. They're $35, but I burned this one for quite a long time, and it didn't have a lot of movement. So I was really, really excited about that. Obviously, soy wax. The smell is so good. It's like a beach. It smells like a cabana. It smells like it's suntan, sunblock oil, all of that good scent I got in this candle. And also I have like a warmer and a wax warmer. So when my candles are done, I can scoop out the leftover wax and put it in the warmer. So I'm
Yeah.
going to get a lot of life out of this candle. And then they have car fresheners,
Okay.
which I'm super excited. I also got it in the cabana. So, we don't think about that too. In our car, we're in this enclosed place. I like it to smell really good in there.
Okay.
And so they make air fresheners. I love it. So the candle's 35. The air freshener is, I want to say like $13. And again, you can do like a pack. And I can't say enough about it. We need more things like this. We just need, it's the essential oils that are not only not toxic, they're actually beneficial and healthy for you. What a difference. Like, what a difference that makes than burning something that's harming us. So way to go grow.
Not easy to say.
It's not easy to say. Way to go grow fragrance. Love you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Nice. There you go.
Yes. Okay, so speaking of cabana and summer stuff. I'm so full blown summer right now. I love summer. I have some rapid fire questions for you this week if you're down. Are you down for that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So let's go. I just thought this would be fun because
Okay.
I always get the Nicole's mailbag and I'm like, okay.
I know you never know what's coming, and then all of a sudden it's hit you. Yep.
Okay, let's throw some at you. Okay. Wearing flip flops to a restaurant, a do or a don't?
I'm a don't.
Okay. Posting thirst traps over age 40, do or don't?
Don't.
Sharing a beach towel with someone you're not dating, do or don't?
Oh, that's funny. I'll say it don't. I'll say it don't.
So if we were at the beach and I'm like, Dave, can I borrow your towel for a second?
My towel 100%. I would say go ahead. I mean, it's funny you say that, but yeah, I would give anybody, anyone that I care about. Yeah, I would give them a towel.
Okay.
But yeah. I don't think that would come off wrong. Like, would somebody get offended if going, I can't believe we shared your beach towel with that girl?
You never know.
You never know. It's right. You just never know. You think you're doing a good deed, and next thing you know, what are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Men that shave their legs, ick or yes?
I always notice when guys shave their legs or forearms. I don't know what it is. I notice. I don't ever say a word. My son will call other guys out for it, by the way. Can you shave your arms? He always calls people out on it. But
no, they're saying shiny because then they look shiny instead of.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, for women who've been doing it forever, it's a lot of work to keep it up. And once you decide to make that move, you got to keep going with that move. Okay, here's the funny thing is I know people that are crazy hairy, and that's gross as hell to me too on their legs, but I've lucked out on that point. I don't have extremely hairy arms or legs, so I'm okay. It is weird to see a woman, by the way, with crazy hairy arms. Like I can't take my eyes off it. I can't stop staring like a magnet. Like my wife has said to me, "You were staring right at her arms. Why are you doing?" I can't stop looking at it. It's nuts to me.
Yes, well, there is waxing and there is laser hair removal these days.
Yeah.
So, and my 2 cents on a man shaving, it's same with their chest, because it is stubbly. It's very, very stubbly when it grows back. So if you want to wax it, I get it. Like you said, some people are particularly hairy. If you want to wax, I get it, or get laser hair removal, I get that. But the shaving, it's a bit much. Yes. Okay. Using "it's too hot out" as an excuse for everything, do or don't?
It's a don't. I hate that.
Me too.
I hate that.
Pool parties where no one actually swims.
Oh, that's funny you say that. I'm one of those guys that likes to jump in the pool. So if no one else is going to the pool, I feel like I'm getting screwed over. Like I showed up that I thought we're all jumping the pool. And if everybody's in the pool, it is a good time. But then you're right. I've had those too. Now you kind of can tell sometimes the time of the day that the event's happening. Like if the sun's just going down, you're like, no one's going in this pool. But if it's 2:00 in the afternoon, it's like, what are we doing? Aren't we getting in the pool? I mean, there's a great pool right in front of all of us and we're all hot. Let's jump in the pool.
Agreed. Okay. Grown men wearing Crocs, do or don't?
Hate it. Out. I am not a Crocs guy. I don't like kids wearing Crocs. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the Crocs. Crocs look lazy as hell to me. You're just telling me you're lazy. I'm not a Crocs guy.
Well, you can wear Birkenstocks. I'm okay with Birkenstocks. They have those closed-toed ones. I'm fine with those and some socks.
Fine.
And that's not lazy. Crocs. But they look a little cartoony, don't they?
Yes.
Okay, summer flings on vacation, do or don't?
Explain exactly what you're saying.
Hooking up with someone when you're on a vacation and then you're like, goodbye.
Yeah. Assuming I'm single, no problem. All for it.
Okay, couples matching in linen outfits, do or don't? Or any kind of matching outfits.
Dude, the goddamn family pictures kill me. People wearing the same denim shirt or linen shirt at the beach with their jeans rolled up or khakis rolled up. What the hell? I laugh at every one of them because I always think you got to regret it down the line. Going, this is embarrassing as hell. Like people come into the house and they see this stupid picture and you paid a photographer.
I think they like it, Dave. And the kids are dressed the same too. The whole family's in the same.
Okay, here's one thing I kind of like lately. All right. And my wife and I don't do this, but I like when other couples do this. I like when boyfriend and girlfriends match the same tennis shoe when they go out. Have you seen that one?
Yeah,
Movies like that?
I
I
have.
kind of I kind of like it. I always think like that's a cute couple right there. Like they could be 21, 22 years old, and they're both wearing Jordans and the same exact color and or Adidas, whatever. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I kind of like the way it looks.
As long as they're cool sneakers. As
Yeah,
long as they're
yeah,
cool
yeah,
shoes. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All
I,
right.
I,
Okay.
I
I
like it.
can.
I'm kind of into the couples wearing the same shoes.
Okay. Okay. I could be down with that too. Okay. And then budgie snugglers. Would you or never?
Explain to me what that is. I'm off. What is it?
Oh, like Speedos.
Oh, no way. No way. Out, 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 out.
No, not
No,
even under your trunks
no. What's the point? No,
to
no.
hold everything in place.
Yeah, no, no. Well, I'll wear something underneath anyway, like boxer briefs or something underneath just to hold everything in place. But I don't like I've never worn a Speedo. I don't like when other people wear Speedos. I always think it's always a look at me move. And it's always weird to me. I don't know. I'm not a big look at me person. I don't know. Like we're at the beach. We're all having a good time. Why do you got to say, hey, everybody, I'm here? It's one of those moves. Hey, everybody, I'm here.
Well, in their
I know
defense, I
you're
think
going to
it's
say if you're
something.
European and you don't have any other, this is what everybody does. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I mean, listen, I was raised European. I was surrounded by it. But no, what I was going to say is that it's like the same reason why a woman wears like a bikini or a one piece and not shorts because it's more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's just more comfortable. You don't have all this fabric that's wet and sticking to you. That's why a lot of guys wear them under their trunks too to hold everything in place, but it dries fast. So it's not like your boxer briefs under there
Yeah.
that are going to be like get
What?
saggy and lose their shape and everything like that.
True. That's true.
And no, I don't. When I was a kid, I was horrified by it, quite honestly. And as an adult, no, I absolutely am okay with a guy in a Speedo.
Oh wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, again, watch the end of the Valley this week when they're on this boat.
Okay.
And there's a whole thing in there where this guy's wearing this crazy tight shorts. It is ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like it when guys play with their fashion, and I like that it's getting a little bit more loosey goosey
Yeah,
here.
no problem with I have no problem with that. So the big out for me out of everything you said is Crocs. No way.
Yeah.
No way. I don't like it. This is dumb as it sounds. I don't like when my baseball players show up to games before the game wearing Crocs. Like it's a team rule. No Crocs before the game. What are you doing? No one's getting signed to $1 million contract wearing Crocs. You guys better act like you're athletes. What are we doing here? Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, I hate it. It drives me crazy.
How did we get here? And then now they sell little charms that go on them and people decorate them. Yep. Well, I think I agree with you on the Crocs for sure.
And I hear they're comfortable. I got it. I got it.
Great.
Yeah. Good for you. Works for you.
Good for you. Okay. Well,
all right.
I mean, that's it. I threw
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
At you.
All right. Let me hit you back with the mailbag. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So again, the mailbag again, it's perfectly twisted. Hold on, let me find where your mailbag's at right here as I pull everything up. So here we go. Perfectlytwistedpod.com is the website, and again, the mailbag's right at the top of the screen. You can ask Nicole questions, get them in, and we will be good to go. And hold on a second. I will. All right, here we go. Nicole, do you consider yourself a spontaneous? These are put together by Lisa. I'm sorry, Lisa. Do you consider yourself a spontaneous person?
Yes, 100%. Spontaneous. I will go anywhere at the drop of a hat. I will change plans at any given moment. I am a pivoter. I am all of that. Yes.
That's good. Were you always that way? Were you always a spontaneous person, or were you always on such a schedule that it was tough to be a spontaneous person?
Well, I was always on such a schedule, working like it's very structured life. So you don't really get to be that spontaneous. But also, you get a last minute job and you're off to a different country in the next few days. There's got to be, you've got to be open to that. And there's a level of spontaneity in this career in general, right? You get hired. Like you're completely unemployed, you might get hired tomorrow in your full-time job. So you have to be flexible like that anyways. But I think having kids really kind of nailed that one home because you have to be able to pivot because everything changes and stuff comes up and disasters happen and all of that.
Exactly. All right, next question. What is a skill or talent you wish you had?
I was just having a conversation with Keegan last night about this, and I'm just insisting that when she starts college right out of high school, she has to take business and finance courses. I really wish my parents had pushed that. I think it should be in high school. I don't know
Me too.
why this is an elective, course or courses. It's ridiculous. With that kind of knowledge, you can go on to do and be anything you want in life. I feel like it's such an important piece of life that is missing from our school system. So I really kind of wish I had taken on that education instead of trying to learn it later in life and as you go along. I wish I had been, I'd soaked up all that as a young person. Like, that's the best time to learn things when you're young. So you could just fall back on them like second nature. And I also wish I could sing.
Me too. I wish I could sing too. I wish I could play the piano. I wish I could sing. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. No, I couldn't agree with you more about finances and how it's not taught more seriously in school. Because the second you turn 18, all these credit card offers start coming in, and then people get in debt and they never get out of it. You hear people get stuck all the time. It's a major problem we have, and we spend so much time on other subjects, but I don't know how personal finance and just stuff like learning credit scores aren't a thing.
I mean, that's like minor, Keegan already kind of is learning about all of that, but I mean, learning how our financial system works and just so that you can set yourself up so that you can, they always tell you, find a job that you love. But if you don't have the fundamentals of how business and finance works, how do you have the freedom to then go just, create what you want to create? I just feel like it's because then you have to learn both. I just feel like it's something that should be standard and it's not. And it drives me nuts.
You're right. All right, here we go. What's one thing you can't live without that's not a person?
One thing I can't live without. Well, I mean, if we're being literal, food and water, things I can't live without that's not a person. My cat,
Okay.
my cat, the beach. There's going to be a few. My cat, the beach, good smelling stuff.
I thought you were going to go with your phone. There's so many people I would think were going to say phone, but you're fine.
No, I'm fine. I completely like through the whole holiday weekend, 4th of July, I didn't even go online. And
Good.
A couple times I left my phone at home and I would go, wait, where's my phone? I completely forgot my phone. And listen, I was raised without one. It's very easily out of sight, out of mind for me.
It's interesting, though, when you don't have it, that panic that starts to go through your mind. What if I'm going to need it? What if I'm going to need it for directions? What if I need to call somebody? What if there's an emergency? And then you're right. We all grew up without them, and we did fine. And but there were other options too. There were pay phones. Remember on the freeways, every half mile there was that phone on the side of the freeway.
The call box.
Yeah, the call box.
Well, listen, I remember for a while years ago, I would panic if like my phone was broken or if I didn't have my phone or something like that. And now what I've really come to realize is that it's okay because the person standing next to me has one.
That's true.
So if there's an emergency, and I'm pretty sure they have unlimited calls and data, so they're not going to mind if I use their phone for directions or an emergency call. So nah, I'm not panicked about it at all.
No, you're right. You're right. All right. 4th question. Do you consider yourself a patient person?
Yes. Not so much when I was younger, but yes, I am now. Yes, because I'm doing myself a favor by being patient.
Yes, I think we all are. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Huh?
I could be better. I could be better. Yeah, I'd love to say I am, but then I get frustrated with other people when it probably, not a big deal,
Yeah, I can be very patient and have a high tolerance, and I just let people be them. But I will get burnt out and need to go home if I'm out and I'm running into a lot of people like in a rush or other really impatient people. That will drive me away really fast too. I have to get away from this energy because to me it looks silly, like knowing and learning that being patient is just beneficial. It makes you happy. It makes everything go more smooth in your day and in your life. And I have a clearer head to be able to tackle problems. And knowing that and learning that from experience now, when I see other people doing it, I feel like they're so much less emotionally evolved. And I sort of look down on it a little bit. I'm kind of like, it's like people speeding to get to a red light. I look like, you haven't learned that yet.
Yeah.
Like, where are you in life?
That's funny. One reason I try and schedule appointments, like whether it's dentist or doctor, or even like yesterday I had a situation with the vet with the dog, is I try and get the first appointment in the day, because I know things do come up, especially in a doctor's office. And if I'm the first one, then I expect to be seen on time. And that drives me nuts. And if I'm the first one in and we have an appointment at 7 a.m. for the vet, for example, it happened yesterday to me. My dog had stitches, had to get out of her ear, and first one in. And then I'm sitting in that waiting room for a long time. And then, when the lady was dragging, the lady who's not the one taking the stitches out, she walked out of the room, and I gave her I flipped her off. I gave her, and that was just for my own well-being, just as a complete, quick fu.
Uh-huh.
And then I look up, and there's a camera and saw me, and so the front desk, everybody saw me flip her off, and I was like, damn. And I was like, that's on me. But again, I scheduled. The dog wants to get out. The dog associates being here, something bad's going to happen. Like, just
That's
take
funny.
the stitches out. Let's go. Like, I shouldn't have to turn the car off on this one. And
Yeah.
and that's one of those that irritates me. Like, it should be patient, but at the same time, you weren't on time. I came here for your business. You made money off me. How are you not on time? How's your time more important than my time? And then I get frustrated.
I see that. So my suggestion is get the second or the third appointment of the day, because people are still like, they're employees on the clock. So they're in no rush, right?
Yes.
So they're getting there. They're still having their coffee. They're still waking up. They're still getting their day started and all their
Yeah.
supplies situated. But if you're the second, hopefully they're on course now, and now they got things going.
I hope so. That's one of those things I got to work on. All right, last question from Lisa. Are you good at admitting you're wrong?
Oh my God, yeah. Because I'm wrong a lot.
It's a good skill. A lot of people don't admit they're wrong, no matter what.
Well, that's another thing that I look at, and I think you're not evolved yet, because how do you learn? How do you learn anything if you're never wrong?
Yeah.
Just like I'm not afraid to ask stupid questions. I kind of pride myself on being the stupidest person in the room sometimes, because if those questions aren't asked, you never get anywhere. So if you're always right and you know everything, where do you have to go? No, I'm much more I'm happier to be the person learning and trying to understand.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think honestly, I think it was the best skill my kids had at a young age. That I used to always say, admit you're wrong as soon as you realize you're wrong, because you're those people that will still fight once they know they're wrong. They still will never admit it, and that becomes even more frustrating. You don't want to deal with those people.
Yeah, it's called being a Jax. We'll call that's being a Jax. And also, it's okay to say, I don't know. I love that, like, I felt like my mom would never say, I don't know. And she would always have an answer. And sometimes it was wrong. And I would like go with it thinking my mom knew everything. And I think that that's something that as adults, we have to get past too. It's okay to say, I don't know to your kids when they ask you a question, and like, let's research it together. I think that's sort of missing a lot too.
Yeah. When I first started in sports radio, there was a guy who did the show before our show started, and he never admitted he didn't know the answer to a question. So we would call and prank him with, questions that didn't exist, So I remember the one we did on him, and we go, hey, we hear the Dodgers are looking at this second baseman in Japan. What do you know about him? His name is Win-One Soon. So we completely made the name up. He gave full stats. Good player, hit 277, stole 23 bases last year. Dodgers like him a lot. I was like, dude, you missed a Win-One Soon. We threw that right by you. And he completely gave stats. Would never admit he didn't know. He said, I don't know. Never heard of him. I'll do my research. I'll get back to you. That's all you have to say. Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
And we did it all the time. We'd sit there and prank him with this BS every show, and then we'd play it back on our show. Look at this idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we should coin the term Jax, being a Jax, because being a Karen took off. Yeah. Let's call it being a Jax when you're one of those.
No kidding. At least appreciate the questions again. At perfectlytwistedpod.com. Mailbag's at the top of the screen, and we'll get your questions on the show. But thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. And give us a like, a subscribe, give us a follow, give us a review, give us all that good stuff, and catch us next week. See ya.